Hello once again, grain traders. I'm meteorologist Sean Sublett for Crop Profit, and it's time once again for the forecast of the forecast discussion for this Friday, July 11th, 2025, getting you ready for the weekend with the holy grail of agricultural commodities forecasting, taking a look at what we expect the probabilities are that the ECMWF ensemble mean will look like on Monday morning next week. And here we look at that probability for Monday morning, the blue shading here, where there is a higher probability that the model is going to come in cooler than normal. And we see a very big signal that way across the western Great Lakes, extending across Iowa and down into West Texas. Now, there has been concern in the markets over the past several days. It's been a little warmer and drier as we get into the key time of year where there's pollinating in the Corn Belt, specifically here in Indiana and Illinois. And we don't see a recurring feature here regarding a high probability of warmer than normal conditions in the week one forecast in those two specific locations. Then as we move into week two, the days 8 to 14 period, the forecast of the forecast suggesting a lot smaller signal here with regard to probabilities. A lot of the areas in white not meeting that 40% threshold of probability, whether being it's normal, below normal, or warmer than normal. But there's actually this stretch in gray across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and lower Michigan, where there's a 40 to 50% probability that the model is going to come in closer to normal or near normal conditions. Looking now at the precipitation probabilities, again, this is the week one, days 1 through 7 probability that the ECMWF ensemble mean on Monday morning comes in wetter or drier than normal. And we see across those places we mentioned before, which are kind of more critical right now, considering they've been dry and a little warm in Illinois and Indiana, the signal is not as strong, not really meeting that 40% threshold. Until you go a little bit farther westward into the Corn Belt, we do have a 40 to 50% probability that the model comes in wetter than normal for a lot of Iowa and extending northward into Minnesota and westward into South Dakota. Then we go into week two, days 8 to 14. There's not much signal to be found here at all. Most of the Corn Belt not meeting that criteria of 40% or greater criteria or probability, drier, wetter, or near normal conditions. And really, we do see this 40 to 50% probability of drier than normal conditions farther northwest as we get into the wheat belt locations, into locations in Montana and northern North Dakota. Don't forget to join us next week for the July Grain Market Weather Webinar. That is Wednesday, July 16th, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. Go to the bit.ly link below, CP July Webinar, to sign up. Again, the July Grain Market Weather Webinar from Crop Profit, Wednesday, July 16th, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. I'm meteorologist Sean Sublett for Crop Profit, and we will talk to you again next week.